Howdy, this is Steve, Realtor with Kentucky Real Estate Professionals, and today I'd like to talk to you about a little thing that can sometimes be overlooked in contracts. If you'll notice, well, I'm standing in an upstairs bathroom. Just to clarify, I'm standing in an upstairs bathroom, and there's something that's not quite right. If you can tell what it is, give you a moment. Well, let me give you a little hint. All right. Real simple thing about this is that the light bulbs are gone in this bathroom. So yeah, so that's one of those things where the light bulbs, you know, when you're buying or when you're working on an agreement, a home purchase agreement, when you're selling a house, fixtures and personal property can sometimes be confused, right? It's good to have clarity in your clauses, in your agreements, in your contracts to understand what is and is not included and not included. Specifically, you might say mirrors, light fixtures, and sometimes light bulbs, as an example, are overlooked. So you want to make sure that you add those to the contract so that you don't get in your new home and find that the light bulbs are gone. So it's one of those things, right? So there's 5 things you can do to address that in the contractual side of it, right? Inclusion and exclusion section, fixtures clause, personal property addendum, seller's disclosure statement, and finally a final property walkthrough. I will go through those with a little bit more detail after, back at my desk after I add the light bulbs to the light fixture in this bathroom. Hey, Eureka! Are you kidding me? Hey guys, welcome back. I'm in my office now. I wanted to go over those five elements in a purchase agreement in which you can make sure that you get your light bulbs as an example, right? So number 1, inclusion and exclusion section. Most real estate purchase agreements include a section in which items are included or excluded in the sale. Light fixtures are typically considered part of the home, but light bulbs themselves are not always explicitly mentioned. Stay. All right. They're not always explicitly mentioned, and to avoid surprises, buyers should, request to make sure that the light bulbs are included in this section. Again, make sure light bulbs are included in the inclusions and exclusions section, where you're going to see things like the light fixtures, the mirrors, the cabinets, things of that nature. 2, of course, fixtures clause, right? So the contract typically defines fixtures as permanently attached to the home, like built-in lighting, like chandeliers, like bathroom lighting, like external lamps, lamp elements on the outside of the home, ceiling fans, things like that. The light fixtures are generally included. I mean, they're like screwed into the walls or screwed into the ceiling, like they're stuck to the house, literally. The bulbs are often overlooked. So it's wise to clarify in that section, right? It's wise to make sure that all the bulbs on the exterior of the house, like, you have to clarify. You have to be very clear and precise on these things. So it's wise to make sure you include them. Number 3, personal property addendum. If a seller plans to take certain items that are traditionally considered part of the home, like light bulbs, mirrors, or decorative features, personal property addendum can specify what is to remain with the property. Buyers can negotiate to ensure in the agreement states that all installed light bulbs to remain with the property, right? All installed light bulbs to remain with the property. These are just one of those things. This is one of those things that is being brought up, right? Number 4, seller's disclosure statement. While this document mainly covers the condition of the home itself as it is currently, at the time the deal is being processed, right? It may provide insight into what is included or excluded in the sale. If bulbs, mirrors, or fixtures are missing, the buyer can request clarification before closing. And of course, final walkthrough and contingencies. Before closing, buyers do a final walkthrough to ensure everything is as agreed in the purchase agreement. This is one of those things that, of course, when you're walking through the process of working the deal, the purchase agreement, that you can, the buyer and the seller can agree to. Obviously, you work with your realtors to make sure that everybody's cool with this. To say, hey, yes, we can agree to a walkthrough. Do you? Do you? Walkthrough. Okay, this day and time. Awesome. Let's get it done, right? If light bulbs are, I still laugh about this. If light bulbs are missing, buyers can address the issue before signing the final paperwork, saying, hey, we did the final walkthrough and all the light bulbs in the upstairs bathroom are gone. Can we get those, like, can we get those put back in? Or can you include at closing a bag of light bulbs? That would be great. Or like not a bag of bulbs, but like a couple of boxes or something that says, but you have to work on that. Just make sure it's clarified. Um, as your realtor, that's one of the things that as a first-time home buyer, we want to make sure that you get your light bulb, you get all your light bulbs. All the light bulbs you are due, you get them. So so how to protect yourself as a buyer. This is something for the additional for the buyers, right? Make sure you review your contract to ensure that all the small but important items are explicitly mentioned. This is one of the things that I will go over with you, right? To making sure when you look at the images of the house or you are looking over your notes, to really take time to think about everything that is included, everything that's mentioned, the fixtures, the mirrors, the doorknobs, the hardwares on the cabinets. Like if the cabinets have a particular type of hardware from Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that, and they're like, I don't know, like the last ones I saw were really like bronze. They were square and bronze. They were actually nice. But making sure that things like that stay with the home if they're supposed to, right? That's part of the agreement. Make sure that they stay. Negotiate in advance, right? If you are concerned about certain fixtures, include them in writing, kind of like the bronze fixtures I just mentioned. Make sure that they're included. All the hardwares. Um, yes, so the hardware on the cabinetry fixtures, the bronze square things, right? They're included. Use clear language. Add phrases like all installed lighting, including bulbs, to remain in the home. Four, of course, this is a big one. Document with photos. If the home had light bulbs during the showing, if the home had mirrors, if the home had particular fixtures, um, if the home had like movable or removable or some, if it had cabinets, if it had bar stools, if it had other elements, if it had things that were custom made. This is also something to take into consideration. If it had custom made items and they're supposed to stay with the home based upon the agreements, right? Custom made wooden benches, custom made. Let's say there's a refinished basement with a bar, making sure that if the bar is custom made and it is agreed upon that that thing stays, it's documented and photo documented, written, and included in the agreement. So again, these are things to take into consideration. Document everything. So again, this is Steve Paytek, Realtor with Kentucky Real Estate Professionals. I look forward to helping you work through the entire process of buying your first home, making sure that you, of course, get all of your light bulbs included in your fixtures when we're going through that process. It's just really funny to think about that. But at the same time, it's really important because that is part of the agreement. It's details like that that can really cause, I mean, they can cause kind of like an issue, and you don't want those issues. You want to be able to walk in, flip the lights on, and everything works as it's supposed to because this is your new home, right? This is your new home. So again, Steve Paytek, Realtor with Kentucky Real Estate Professionals. Give me a call, give me an email if you're looking at buying your first home. Let's walk through the process. Let's get you moving on this. April's coming up soon, so Talk to you guys later. Thank you.